Hello and welcome to another macro video. Today we're looking at file diagnostics. In other words, when we get a new file coming in, there will be certain things about it which we'll be able to note, maybe the styles, bold, italic, various things, but some things will be hidden from view, or at least not obvious, and we want to investigate what's in our document, what's in our file. So the first one we're going to look at is a macro called fieldalyze, which allows us to find out what different fields there are in the document. So if I use my book, copy of my book, and I run fieldalyze, that's F7, then down at the bottom of the document there it's written the following. There's one field type 13, which is table of contents, so there's just one table. There's 12 field type 58s, so those are equations, and 518 hyperlinks. So that gives you an idea of what's going on there. You have to be careful because we've got the macro file unlink, and we may want to unlink some of the fields, such as those referencing the citing the references, but we don't want to unlink equations, because if you unlink an equation then you end up with an uneditable equation, which is very bad news. If we have a look at another document and look at the run the fieldalyze again, what do we get this time? This time we've got the 160 equations there at the bottom, but we've got 19 field type 4s, and it says it's unknown, an unknown type. That simply means that I haven't put all of the different types into the macro. So if I run URL launcher, then it will launch that URL into Chrome, and it will show you there the list of field types, and we look down and find number 4 there is date time. So we can add that into the equation so that next time it will, not into the equation, into the macro. So if we have a look at fieldalyze there, so there are the known types. So if I add 4 into there, and then down here these are the different names of the types, so copy that and paste it. Then if I put 4 in there and change this to date time, then if we run the macro again, I can run it from there, then this time what we get is 19 field type 4s. Okay, that's that one. So now the next one is formatalyze. So this is highlighting in the document various formatting features. So if we bring in this sample document I've got here and run the macro, which is there, so you've got 10 different things that you could highlight. So for example, we've got font size, font name, style. So if I try font name, that's number 2. So we're looking for fonts of with different names. Well, the normal stuff here is Times New Roman, but this one that's been highlighted is Cambrian Math, and there are various of those and loads more down there. So that tells you if you've got any funny font types. So if we select that and remove the highlighting, we can try another. We can do the bold and italic, for example. So 4. So you've got bold in turquoise and italic in yellow. But and again we can select that and remove that. But if we try this time, we've got bold italic but not in a style. So just stop there. So run that again. So that's number 5. So run number 5. So it highlights that style there, but then it removes it because it's saying, well, yes, that's bold, but it's the bold. That's bold, but it's not in a style. That's bold, but it's not in a style. And then further down here, that one there is in italic, but italic is part of heading 2 there. What else have we got? So select all, remove the highlighting, and see what we can try next. Well, non-alpha characters, number 8, there's going to be a load of those presumably. Yep, you've got some thin spaces there, and you've got something funny here. What's this one? If I use watchar, it'll tell me it's a non-breaking space. So get rid of that again. And what else can we try? We can try funny spaces, because that's an interesting. No, let's try 6 superscript subscript. 6 superscript subscript. Now that's interesting, because if you wind this up, those spaces have been highlighted. So it's saying that those are superscripted. Is that right? So if I select that, then yes, not only is it italic, it's an italic space, an italic thin space, but that shows that it's superscripted. So there are a whole lot of things there that you can look for. Okay, so what's next on the list? Special sorts lister. So if we run that one, so that's special sorts lister. Where are we? Special sorts lister, run. So that creates a copy of the text and then removes anything that's not a special sort, and then just adds on some names for the characters. So there we are. Let's wind it up a bit. So we've got minus signs, we've got thin spaces, various strange symbols, an ordinary bullet, a non-breaking space, and so on. So that list of special sorts could well be useful. Get rid of that. Our last one is the text probe. Okay, so the idea of this one is to look through the document, finding different things. So let's go back to my book, go to the top and run this one. So it looks down and it finds a carriage return, and do you want to continue? Yes. Well, and I can press return to continue. Carriage returns are not terribly exciting, so what I can tell it to do is to ignore those. So if I look at the macro, which is text probe edit, then at the top here is a list of the different features. So it says show return equals true. So if I put false, then it will now not show the returns. So if I look again and run the macro, so what's it found now? It's found IM with an apostrophe in the middle, and the code for Unicode for that is 8217. Again, we might not want those. Can we get rid of apostrophes? No, we can't. Okay, never mind. Let's carry on, see what else we get. So 6 more apostrophes, dashes. We know about dashes, so maybe we want to get rid of those and not have those shown to us. Show dashes equals false. So let's go over to my other sample file and see what we can find in that one. So if I run through here, tabs, oh, they're not very exciting either, are they really? So let's have a look. Show tabs is now to be false, and we can go again. So we've got 8201s, so we know about those, so we can go through those. So depending on this, there's a picture markers, so those are pictures. So again, we can do the same sort of thing and say, well, I'm not interested in those, I know they're there, so I can make those false. And I can carry on through that and see what else we can find. 8201s and so on. And then just to be helpful, we can go back to here and we can restore those by cheating. There's a command here which says show everything. That would run all these over here. So if I just copy those, copy, and put those back in there and paste instead of that, then just to be tidy, let's pull those back to there, and we're back to all the true values there, so we can start again. Well, I hope that's useful, and if you've got any other questions, then drop me an email sometime. Thanks for watching. Bye now.